Hi and welcome to History Legends. In this video we'll do a step-by-step analysis of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. On February 24th, the official casualty report of Ukrainian armed forces was 137 killed and 316 wounded. That's as many men as an entire battalion gone in 24 hours. It seems the Russians are about to pull a Stalingrad and fully trap the Ukrainian army in Donbass, with several pincer movements, and it appears that Russian vanguard units are closing in on Zaporozhye, hoping to link up with the northern pincer grouping from Kharkov. If these forces join together, the largest AFU grouping in Donbass, from what I read, about 100,000 soldiers, may find itself in a cauldron. If this situation report is correct, this Ukrainian army will be left with little options. The Kharkov-Belgorod axis. The Kharkov-Belgorod axis. But it's also a bit too early to say that Ukrainians have won. The Russian military has likely recognized that its initial expectations that limited Russian attacks would cause the collapse of Ukrainian resistance have completely failed and is recalibrating accordingly. The tide of the war could change rapidly in Russia's favor if the Russian military has correctly identified its failings and addresses them promptly.
Bruh, look at this dude.
At the same time, they're taking the threat of the Ukrainian Air Force more seriously and claim to have mastery of the sky. Let's have a quick look at historical data. During Operation Bagration, the Soviet advanced about 489 kilometers in less than a month, so an average of 18 kilometers a day at most. In comparison, the Crimean front advanced 175 kilometers in 5 days, or an average of 35 kilometers a day. Overall, the Russian offensive is divided into a northern front trying to encircle Kiev, and a southern front trying to capture the most strategic cities and potentially encircle the Ukrainian Donbass army group. With the information available, we can guess that Russian forces have conducted an operational pause. All this points toward a major assault on Kiev soon. If Ukrainian forces don't withdraw from the contact line immediately, they will face an unmitigated disaster. How do you expect to continue the fight, to counterattack in Kiev, if the bulk of your best troops is encircled? It's hard to say, but I recommend abandoning most of the eastern bank of the Dnieper and consolidate defenses of the river itself. Instead, they could drive northeast along this road, or even this one, towards Dnipro, whereas they could simply aim for Odessa, which is 130 kilometers away, and this attack could be coupled with an amphibious landing. Currently, Kharkov is like a thorn in the foot of the Russians. It's painful, and it's the key to all of eastern Ukraine.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Avdiivka falls into Russian hands. Check out what the Globe and Mail had to say. The assault on Avdiivka is turning into one of the bloodiest battles of the Ukraine war. Meanwhile, journalists at the rear write, the forces of the Russian Federation are very far from the goal in Avdiivka.
All I'm saying.
Oh, here's the best one. There is no hint of encirclement of Ukrainian troops in Avdiivka.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
If things are so good, why did the Ukrainian army withdraw its command post and all senior officers from Avdiivka in the night of October 29th? Honestly, let's just take a look at the map.
No!
The city is 3/4 encircled. As autumn sets in, with cold rain, the wind, the mud, the freezing nights, life in the trenches will become very difficult and morale might be impacted. 15,000 Ukrainian troops were defending the sector of Avdiivka, but the size of the grouping has now grown to 30,000. Facebook. The situation is difficult. Avdiivka is semi-encircled, and this ring may collide. He means that the northern and southern pincers could link up. He continues by saying, I think we will see under Avdiivka what was observed under Bakhmut. As more and more people in Ukraine's war cabinet are doubtful about Ukraine's capability to win the war, any major defeat could become disastrous.